He hit it. Doubled up. Believe all our big bass are bedding, Hank.
Uh-huh, they too, Keith.
Get those spinner bait.
Oh man, he ate the frog.
There's a lot of fish we got to get out of here. You see that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I do see that.
I am headed to Rock House Farms in Georgia. You know, Keith Kelly has a working farm. They grow corn, soybeans, do all kinds of irrigating and farming. And so he needed a lake to have for a reserve for irrigation. So while he was laying this lake out, I said, Keith, this would be a perfect fishery. He said, well, my primary purpose is irrigation. But if you can design this thing, make it a Hank Parker signature lake, knock yourself out. So we laid this thing out, and man, we put rock piles. We did the back end where you had a big flat. We've got creek channels that we exaggerated, standing timber. Man, this thing's got it all. It's 3.5 years old. You will not believe the bass. 3.5 years old. We stocked it with F1. So we're going down today. We're going to be fishing the new Hank Parker signature spinnerbait. Going to be fishing with my buddy Keith Kelly on a Hank Parker signature lake, Rock House Farm. It's going to be exciting for me, and I think you're going to like it as well. So you stay with me. I'm Hank Parker.
That day we caught all them dales here, they were just, it was popping up like that just everywhere.
You ain't caught one off that tree yet?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I thought all it's time. Oh, I thought you had a fish.
Keep playing around here where these little ones are. You won't get me in where the good ones are. Gonna make me go to the funeral so you can catch them all. I know you.
You know me.
You afraid I outfish you?
You ever read that book, Unoffendable?
Yeah.
It talks about everything you do is right, everything you do is better.
Yeah.
Just human nature. You probably need to reread that thing.
You sound like my wife. She said, "You never wrong." I said, "Well, I can't help that."
Oh.
This Lou's reel does throw well.
It's an awesome reel.
First time I've tried one, but it really throws nice. Mm-hmm. A little better fish.
I think that's a male bass. A big old male.
Mm-hmm. What you think?
You finally caught one.
What do you think?
I think that's a male bass too. Big
Yeah,
old
I believe
male.
it is. He's pretty.
He is pretty. Is that the biggest fish you've ever caught in your life?
This morning. In my life this morning, that's the biggest one I've ever caught. And he's at least a pound bigger than any you caught this morning, so that's all that really matters. Facts are facts, you just can't help it.
As I say, you probably need to reread that book. What did he do?
Oh, what is he doing?
You let him get off.
Been one of them 2-pound brim, he hit it twice.
No,
What'd you do? Got one?
no, I didn't get one. I didn't catch one.
I got him this time.
We'll get him and quit talking about it. What we're doing is we're keeping fish because they need to go. Swing him right here. You cannot, when you're managing a lake, you cannot let it get overpopulated, and it's critical. There's some giant fish in this lake. It's 4 years old now, and it's at the point where it's really critical to take these guys out. I mean, it is critical. So that's what we're doing, we're managing. Never do that in a public lake. plenty of help with public lake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we're gonna get some bragging. I can feel this.
Now we talking.
Oh yeah, I can feel this brag coming on.
Now we talking.
Oh, I can feel this brag.
Now I've got the 2 biggest fish of the day.
Oh, now I can feel this brag.
Hey, you gonna get him off for me?
Yeah,
So
hold
feel
what
him?
you got, hold what you got. Hold what you got,
So you can feel him.
hold what you got. You're not listening either.
Keith Kelly, Dr. Death. Keith Kelly is one of my best friends in the world. We hunt together, fish together, we're in business together. We've known each other now probably 10 years or so. And Keith is just an awesome guy. We've probably known each other more than 10 years.
That's on that new Hank Parker spinnerbait
Yeah,
there, wasn't it? Mm-hmm.
He's really, really serious. And he's got Rock House Farms. Now, they grow soybean and corn, and they rotate their crops, and there's a few other things they grow.
It'd be nice if she hadn't laid out.
Crazy, isn't it?
But they have these big pivots for irrigation. And when you've got huge cornfields and huge bean fields that depend on irrigation, you always want to have a backup to your pivots. And he needed a big 78, 75, 80 acre lake. So he's building this lake for the purpose of irrigation. And I said, Keith, man, this could be an incredible fishery.
Right there, bro, that was a big bite. Came back and got it. You're gonna be proud of this fish. You're gonna be proud of this
He
fish.
said, well, here's what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna build this lake. Now, if we can do something to make it conducive to fishing, let's do it. I said, man, perfect.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be proud of me, Keith.
Let's see.
He's bigger than that and you just caught.
Let's leave this timber. Let's put these rock piles in. I love rock piles. Let's put rock piles here. Let's put this timber. Let's put this ditch here. He said, have at it. He allowed me to design the lake that I've always wanted to build for myself. So it's a Hank Parker signature lake, and this thing is laid out incredible.
Took more talent to catch him. Yep,
Took more tries anyway.
took more talent. Good fisherman.
Fish that just keep on coming up there and biting.
We got a brand new spinnerbait, a Hank Parker signature spinnerbait, fishing with a jig, fishing with a lot of different lures today. They're eating that spinnerbait pretty good. And we're well pleased with what's happening with the spinnerbait, and I'm well pleased with the Hank Parker lake.
Golly, bum, that's by far the biggest fish of the day there.
Your biggest fish, I will agree with that.
Hey, don't go away. We got some more big fish coming your way.
Just time to hit the water, go back that way. That's where I caught the other one from right there.
I ain't going back that way. I had a little bite. I had a little bitey poo.
Hank's Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. And by Minn Kota. Soft Science. Solar Bat. And Talon.
Hey, 65 degrees back here. That's what I wanted to do. Come off of that. That's what I wanted to do, Keith.
That's what you were trying to do?
That's what I was trying to do. I want to catch one of them big ones. I like them big ones. On old Hank Parker bug. We moved the body of this spinnerbait back underneath the blade. This is a 3/4 ounce. The body is actually covered up by the skirt, so you don't have that big old wad of lead out there in front. It's got this little short arm to the bend, and this bait is shaped like a fish, so it's aqua dynamic, and it won't roll over. It allows you to fish in that heavy cover without hanging up most of the time. Look here, I got old big fish in the bushes. That's the kind, if you're in a tournament, you're just freaking out over. And then you're in TV, you just be calm and patient, you don't lose them. If you're in a tournament, you'd have lost that fish 10 times.
I'd be a good host. Let the professional fishermen have all the good hole shots.
You big old pretty thing, you. You big old pretty thing, you. I wish Keith could catch one like that. Good gracious. You pretty thing.
Get me over there.
This is like playing cards with my brother's kids. Ain't nothing to it. Just get them out of the bushes. Look at that big fish following me. Look at that. Ah, he missed it. You rascal. He got it. Ah, he got it. He followed it all the way out of there. How about that? I think that's a male bass.
It's gonna be a heartbreak place when we get about some 12-pounder, 14-pounders in here.
They in here now. We just got to get them out.
Come out there now. Don't get out of that long. Nice and nice and nice.
Your shiny honey's going in the box. Yeah, get out of here.
Finally get him.
Nah, I missed him. I missed him, Keith. He didn't.
You did miss him. Get him out there.
Throw into the sunshine and you'll get a bite. Woo, gotta catch him. When a man's catching fish, he works up a little bit of a sweat.
I'm always so far ahead on you on fish size and everything. I'm trying to let you catch up a little bit,
And you know what?
but you can't catch one big ones for some reason. I don't know
I
what to do with it.
appreciate you doing that for me.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly.
Might be where the big ones are.
You know, I get excited about talking about designing lakes, and I had a guy ask me one day, what is it that you like about designing a lake? Well, I just like my thoughts being put to actual application. You know, I'm thinking, boy, if you had this big flat, if you had these stumps, if you had these rock piles, if you had this taper, if you had this ditch, man, it would be the perfect habitat for catching fish. Catch them under different conditions, and it would just be conducive to growing big fish. And so when you see it come alive, it's very fulfilling and very rewarding. So I love designing lakes. And rock piles are key, I'm gonna tell you that. That's a good place for crawfish to hide and survive, and keep a lake full of crawfish, keep a lake full of threadfin shad, keep a lake full of bluegill, and you're gonna have a lake full of big bass if you harvest. That's the key, and Keith is really good about that. So if you see us putting fish in the live well, that's because we need to get them out of the lake, because you gotta have a harvest. Can't put 50 cows in a 10-acre cow pasture. They'll all starve to death. They'll eat the grass down to nothing. It's the exact same principle in a lake. You can't put 5,000 bass in a 70-acre lake and expect them to survive. They just will eat everything in there, and then they'll all starve to death. So you gotta keep them balanced. You gotta take out.
So these lures are how much a piece?
About $6,000 a piece in the boat like this.
Man,
What I say, man.
that makes room and board sure enough pricey.
Ooh. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invoice you after. Look here, Keith Kelly. Bring yours in here and let's see who's got the biggest one.
I'll let you catch the biggest one this time, so you can brag a little bit.
Look here, Keith. Bring that big dog of yours in here. Let's see if you got me again.
No, you got me this time.
Well, I can't believe that.
You finally caught a decent fish. Biggest one of the day for you.
How about that? I'm so proud of it too.
I would put this in the thing. We ain't got enough room in there anymore. It's full.
The thing's called the live well.
The live well is full.
The thing.
The thing.
Look at your eagle out there. About 5 foot from the boat now. I got that shark. Big fish of the day. Big fish of the day. Yeah.
Good 3-pounder.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
Had to have a still shot of that bad boy. We should have got one of you, Keith. I'd let you hold him.
Another tree limb.
Just hold it steady, and he'll swim off, swim out. Is he still on there?
I'm right there. I'm about to tear the rod tip off.
It's getting exciting.
Good gracious alive, boy. You messed me all up.
Come on.
You done all that foolishness. You need to get in here and fix it.
Look at what a fish.
Get that little old man in here and get over here. Get my lure.
Look what a fish. Good gracious alive, Keith. Look what a fish. Woo, look what a fish. Oh my goodness, look what a fish. Oh!
That's almost 3/4 bigger than I caught.
Woo, look what a fish.
Why won't this thing come undone? You got a paddle in here?
Paddle in here. You beat all I've ever seen in my life. We look like two little old girls out here trying to fish for the first time. Wow, that's about all I can say is wow. We caught so many fish and we couldn't possibly get all this into one show.
Fishing today.
So we're gonna come back next week and pick up where we left off, but we're having so much fun. And it's amazing to me that lake is only 3.5 years old. It's crazy how those fish have grown. Keith has managed that lake and done a fabulous job. What a great friend he is and how much fun we're having catching fish. So, hey, we got a lot more coming up next week, but today was a hoot for me and I hope you enjoyed it.
Like the way I drive.
Look forward to next week. It'll be fun, I promise. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.